On Friday, June 17th, a coalition of black militia groups led by the Elmer Geronimo Pratt Gun Club marched throughout the Mississippi town of Brookhaven on a mission.
Whatever. When I finally got a hold of dispatch, I didn't even know who these people were. They actually had reported me as being a suspicious person in the neighborhood, even though I had on.
On January 24th of 2022, 24-year-old FedEx driver D'Monterrio Gibson was delivering packages in this neighborhood when 35-year-old resident Gregory Case shot into his delivery vehicle and began chasing the young man, along with his father, Gregory Case.
It's just hard to continue to fight these people. It's hard. They know it. The evidence is there. Prosecute these people.
While Gibson was not injured, he says he was traumatized by bullets entering his vehicle. The two men were charged with assault and conspiracy more than a week later and swiftly bonded out of jail. Gibson, and the activists supporting him, say it's not enough. They'd like the pair charged with attempted murder or hate crimes.
The Panthers on the scene. Mama said, boy, what you want to be? Sharp and crisp, black and clean.
All right, myself, D'Monterrio, 345. We're gonna go inside. We're gonna meet with the district attorney. When we come back out, the second part of what we're gonna do, we'll do it from there. The General, you're in charge out here?
Yes, sir.
All right.
The all-black coalition of groups, including Black Panthers, began to march on Friday at the local DA's office, where they formed an armed perimeter as some went inside for a pre-planned meeting.
Hi, can I help you?
Yeah, well, I had an appointment today with the district attorney.
I'm sorry, he is gone for the day. He said the appointment was at 12, and so he had to go out of town, so he's gone for the day.
So he left.
Yes, sir. The appointment, is my understanding, was at 12. He said you told him you would be here about 12.
No, that was a misunderstanding on his part.
Okay, he stayed until about 1:30, and then he had to leave.
All right, well, tell him I'll be back to see him.
Okay, when is that, sir?
Every day until I see him.
Okay, what's your name?
Nick Bezel, Elmer Geronimo Pratt Pistol and Rifle Gun Club.
Okay, I'll let him know. Have a great day.
How do you feel about the way that just went?
This district attorney says he's going to be here of a prominent case that's happening in his jurisdiction, and then he leaves. He hasn't done anything to help this young man with his case. And then he knew I was coming to town. He knew all of us were coming to town, but then he chose to leave anyway, which tells me he doesn't care about justice in his jurisdiction. So, which tells me we have to ramp up the type of things that we do until we get justice for D'Monterrio.
What do you think it would take to get his attention?
Well, I guess you're gonna have to stand by and find out, right?
Sure will.
Okay. Somebody hasn't done anything so far. But what we're gonna do now is, we're gonna go pay the police chief a visit and ask him what's going on with this investigation.
And all of them, original Black Panthers, militia, all of us here.
The group next attempted to meet with the police chief or officers on the case and were similarly told that nobody was available.
Hey, what can I do for you?
Hey, yeah, I'm looking for the chief.
The chief is right now at the chief conference.
So,
He should be back sometime today, but I can't give you a time because I don't know what time they get out.
Yeah,
is Clinton Earl here?
He's not here at the moment.
Man, okay, that's how.
Nobody here.
So you all have no leadership here right now.
You're talking to Sergeant Hart.
Okay, are you involved with the D'Monterrio Gibson case?
No, I am not.
Exactly. Okay. All right. So no leadership is here. Okay. Got it.
No one is here to talk with these people. I mean, you make that make sense. I mean, you got a chief. Am I correct?
Vincent Fernando.
Vincent Fernando.
What about him?
We're trying to figure out, was he the one who initially investigated the D'Monterrio case?
Brought him into town, into our town.
Okay. Are you him or no?
Oh, no, sir. I'm not him. I'm not him.
Is he here?
I'm not him.
Is he around? Brother, you taking too long. That means you're trying to lie to me.
Oh,
I'm trying to see where he's at because we're trying to figure out if nobody else is going to do the job to get justice for D'Monterrio Gibson, the people aren't going to do their job, then we're here to do it for him.
As they stood at the police station, the group realized that the assistant police chief was across the street. When they went to confront him as well, he drove away.
So inside there was no one to talk to, and then you saw the assistant police chief across the street. You crossed the street to talk to him, and he left.
He drove off.
Is that right?
That's my understanding.
Assistant police, well, you're not the assistant police, the assistant pig, that when we was approaching over there, Nick Belson and us, the cracker pulled off. Because they cannot stand truth, okay? Nature is to rebel against truth. Rebel against them going to be injustice. Only thing they stand for is injustice. Because that's the nature of the devil.
Right on.
We're gonna go to the crime scene. You good to go over there? You good? All right, we're gonna go to the crime scene, and we're gonna let Brother D'Monterrio get whatever he has off his chest about that day.
After failing to get any meeting with government officials, the coalition instead returned to the scene of the shooting, where Gibson told his story with armed protection.
All right, I guess I'll start with like how it started. Anyway, like when we go to FedEx, we be going to like a lot of different cities that we don't know, we're not familiar with, so we have to put addresses in our phone, but like this based off the package that we scan with our Leo or whatever. So sometimes the address get put in wrong. On this particular day, I was supposed to put in 417 Junior Trail, but I put in 427. So as I'm like on the street trying to find the address, I can't find. Well, we can actually start walking down now, and I'll show you guys. So yeah, we're gonna walk all the way down to this. All right, we're gonna walk all the way down to this right side. That's what 417 is supposed to be. So I'm driving down, I'm looking for the address, but I can't find it because it doesn't exist. I put it in wrong. I'm gonna show you the exact house that I drove down to. We gotta walk down a little bit further though. But that's where the sun stay right there. That's Brandon Case. And if I can get that behind y'all, I got shot at a little bit past this red four-wheeler right here. He was standing in the middle of the street with the gun near that red four-wheeler or whatever.
No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
All right, so 417 Junior Trail was up here on our right. Like I said, I was looking for 427 because I put the address in wrong. So when I didn't see it, I turned around to leave the neighborhood, but I noticed 417 to my left or whatever. So I had to check my Leo, which is my work device, just to make sure that it was the correct address, and it was. I came down a little further, and I turned around about right here, and that's when I had went to the yard. I delivered the package. This is the house right here. That's the house that I delivered the package to, that first house right there. So I hopped out the truck, I put the package down, and I got back in. Now, we're gonna go down a little bit further. You're gonna see a house in the background, and that's where the white truck came from. So I thought the white truck was just like leaving the yard or whatever. They came up behind me, got close, and started blowing the horn. I was just trying to get out their way. As I'm trying to leave the driveway, which is like right here, that's the driveway. That's the trash cans I was telling y'all about. They swerved around the trash cans, came through the trash trying to cut me off, but I'm trying to leave the driveway over there. This is the house back there. This is where the white truck came from. And this is where they tried to cut me off at. I swerved around the guy or whatever, and I came back this way. I came back this way right here, and I got down to about where that white four-wheeler is, and the son was trying to slow me down. He had a gun pointed in my window or whatever. He kept asking me to stop. I shook my head, and I hit behind the steering wheel, and I swerved on him too. And that's when he started firing shots in the back of my vehicle or whatever. He then, after they failed to shoot me that time, he got in the car with his dad, and they actually chased me all the way from here to out the city. And this happened in like a 5-minute time frame. It was like from 7:20 to like 7:25 or 7. It was like a 5-minute time frame though. But yeah, he was right there by where that red four-wheeler is. They chased me all the way out the city. And I actually had one of my managers on the phone the whole time. So after they chased me out the city, I drove down the road about 15 minutes. That's when I called my head manager with it. I told him what was going on. And he just told me like, let's wait till tomorrow to report it. But I knew if I had did that, the police were gonna ask like, why you wait till tomorrow? So I took it upon myself to report it, whatever. When I finally got a hold of dispatch, I didn't even know who these people were. They actually had reported me as being a suspicious person in the neighborhood, even though I had on full FedEx uniform. I was in a Hertz work van. Like, it's not a FedEx van, but it's still a Hertz van, obviously work van or whatever. And I had like big FedEx letters on the back of my jacket or whatever. So I had, I told the guy like, I'm not a suspicious person. I was just doing my job. And he basically told me he was gonna give it over to his supervisor the next day or whatever. So they gave it to, I waited till the next morning. One of my managers came down with me, and we went to the police station to file a report. I had dealt with 3 officers that day. The first one, he was taking my statement down. I kept telling him what happened over and over. He just like kept switching my story. I don't know if it was on purpose or if he was just like not listening to what I was doing. So like after about the third or fourth time, he finally got it right. And it was the second officer that was just like listening to us talk or whatever. He asked me, he was like, well, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. And he was like, did you do anything to make them think you were suspicious? To which I replied, no, of course, I was just at work. But even if I did, you still, like I said, if you're a citizen, you can't take the law into your own hands. You either call the police or you mind your business. It's that simple, or whatever. So the third officer I dealt with, he was a detective as well. He actually let me write my statement down about what happened or whatever. And we came back to the crime scene. And the first house we went to was the back house. I'm not sure who they talked to when they went to that house or whatever, but they got the information they needed, and we ended up coming back down here. When we came down here, they was actually looking for like bullet fragments and things of that nature. And they asked me to get out and help them, which I did. So while we looking for the bullet fragment, the guy was like, "You see that we trying, right?" And they just like really like baffled me, like, "That's what y'all supposed to do anyway." So I don't see why you asked me do I see if y'all trying. After that, we went to like the job of Brandon Case or whatever, and he was giving them a hard time. He wanted to go over his information. And basically after that, they just gave them time to turn themselves in. They didn't arrest them, they didn't do nothing. They gave them plenty of time to turn themselves in. And that's the whole rundown of basically what happened.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
What does it mean to have a community out here exercising their First and Second Amendment for the two of you?
It's very much appreciated. Of course, we appreciate everybody that's coming out. I feel like it's not respected though, at least by the law enforcement in this city. So, but yeah, we thank them personally.
So what would justice look like? What do you hope is going to happen?
Upgraded charges, them going to jail. Because if it was me, I would have been in jail.
Mm. Thank you.
No justice!
No peace!
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 I appreciate everybody coming out, and I look to see everybody again on Saturday, and of course on Sunday in Natchez for the national gathering. Black Power.
Black Power.
It was only as the groups began to leave that police finally arrived, including Brookhaven Police Chief Kenneth Collins, who made it clear that he was not trying to begin a dialogue.
What I need y'all to do is leave the area, okay?
Oh, wow.
We need to talk. Because y'all don't have a protest permit, we need y'all to leave. Okay?
We need to talk to you.
Okay?
No, listen, you've been
We don't, wait a minute. Y'all need to leave the area.
Hold on.
You don't have a protest permit.
You
You don't have a parade permit, leave the area.
Oh, okay. That was only an interview.
Okay, y'all go ahead and leave then. That's all we have.
I'm not
Nothing serious, nothing like that. It was a regular interview.
That's how I feel.
Y'all leave the area for me, okay? All right, that's what I need y'all to do. Okay?
Y'all good? Everybody good?
Yeah.
We were leaving anyway.
Yeah, we was going anyway. I just need y'all to leave the area.
Okay, we were leaving anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were just interviewing, checking out what was going on.
Thank you
The
very
crime
much.
scene.
I'm not leaving.
Thank you.
Mr. Kenny Collins.
Get him to leave the area.
Don't tell me.
Yeah,
I'm not
who
leaving.
Get him to leave the area.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna let me leave.
Hey, leave the area.
Who is
Say
that?
him?
Everybody needs to leave the area. Y'all don't have a
Did
permission
you call
to
me
protest.
him?
Leave the area.
We're not protesting.
Okay?
We're
Y'all
not
don't have a
protesting.
parade permit to occupy the
not
street. Leave the
protesting.
area, okay?
We're not protesting.
Y'all done got about 3 minutes to leave.
We just need you to do your job.
Get your people out there.
Here you go. We got you. We got you going live. We got you going. We got everybody.
Get your people out.
We got everybody.
All power to the people!
All power to the people!
No justice! No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace! Everybody in the vehicle, let's go. All right, no more. Everybody in the vehicle. Everybody in the vehicle, let's go.
That's a joke. Figure out what you're going to do justice for my son. That's what you need to be doing. Do you hear me?
Say something on that.
Do you hear me? Figure out when you're going to get out of this for my motherfucking son, okay?
Say
Do you
something
hear
on
me?
that.
Do that. Do that. Please do that.
You don't care because you're a king.
Tensions rose considerably, nearly coming to a breaking point as a truck attempted to drive through the street where the confrontation was taking place.
Hey!
Come on. He tried to run him over.
The fuck
He tried to run him over, bro. He just tried to run him over. Now let's see how you have it. This motherfucker tried to run me over.
This is what we're talking about.
Chief, you were leaving. You see, he just did. He was trying to leave.
He's my general.
Get up the road for me. Please. Get up the road for me.
The groups ultimately dispersed, and nobody was hurt or arrested. It is currently unclear whether any additional charges will be added against Brandon and Gregory Case. While the original shooting received plenty of media attention, the armed march attempting to draw attention from the public and officials was entirely ignored by the mainstream media. Ford Fisher, News to Share, for Activism Uncensored, a collaboration with TK News.